continues to play the way it is. And who saw that coming this season? That the Eagle D, despite their personnel losses, would carry the offense that lost almost nobody and has all that alleged firepower. Now, the Rams might be the most complete team in the NFC, and they could end up at the top seed. They better, because even if the Eagles aren't what they were, the last thing you want to have to do is go through Philly to get to Santa Clara, even if watching their offense makes me want to claw out my own eyes. I'm Jim Rome. Remember, you can follow me on Instagram at Jim Rome. The hard-hitting football action is even better with Prize Picks. The weather might be changing, but the feeling of being right never gets old, so don't miss any of the action this season with Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Download the Prize Picks app today, use the code ROME, and get a $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. That's code ROME on Prize Picks to get a $50 bonus credit instantly in lineups when you play $5. Win or lose, you'll get $50 bonus credit in lineups just for playing. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. You do have to be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details. Hey, fellas, want to be the MVP this holiday season? Then you need Aura Frames. Aura Frames are personal, easy, and unforgettable. My favorite part is I can upload photos, share videos, and even preload memories of the kids before it ships, so Aura Frames feels thoughtful from the moment it's unwrapped. Aura Frames makes it look like you planned it all along, and it's a personal gift that they will love. And for a limited time, visit auraframes.com for $45 off on a Carver mat frame with code ROME, and support us by mentioning the Jim Rome Show at checkout. Terms and conditions apply.
Now, from Wichita's most listened to sports radio, 97.5 and 1240 KFH, this is Sports Daily.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome in here to Sports Daily. Jacob Albrock, TJ Cleveland with you on a Tuesday morning. Glad to be with you here. If you're joining us on our video stream, I apologize. I'm a little under the weather, so I'm a little delirious, and I look like it. So you get to stare at that for a little while, but we'll be just fine. 869-1240 is the number to call. You can get in touch with the program as well on our video streams, Facebook, YouTube. It is not wanting to launch via X, so we're working on that. So, well, if you're listening to us and you're in the office and you got to watch, you're going to have to watch on Facebook or YouTube for now, or of course on 12 News Connected, the best way to watch the show. You can do that as well. So glad to be here with you. We've got Wyatt Thompson, voice of the KState Wildcats, coming up in just a little bit here in this hour. We'll talk about their game last night, survival mode. They keep the unbeaten season alive. A little bit of a scare there against Tulsa, but they get a big shot late and they get the win in a game. Boy, that would have been a disappointment. I'll just be perfectly honest, as we get you ready for just a massive night of college football, college basketball tonight with Wichita State and KU both playing as both pretty heavy underdogs as the lines come out this morning, which is interesting. We'll get into all of that today. A little Monday night football for you. Chiefs fans may be paying closer attention to that game because as they need all these wins down the stretch. Dallas is one of those games that you hoped you'd be okay in, and all of a sudden Dallas with a little bit of a revamped defense looks pretty darn good. So we'll dig in there as well. Take you around the rest of the headlines. Max Power producing for us. It's all What's on Tap, brought to you by the Wichita Brewing Company, where groups gather for holiday fun. Bring the whole family and your out-of-town visitors to WBC for a taste of pizza and beer made here. East near Central and Woodlawn, west at 13th and Tyler, and in historic Delano at Handley. Wichita Brewing Company, where groups gather for the holiday season. Boy, I'm going to need the Prairie Fire coffee this morning, TJ. I bet I got about, 2.5 hours sleep last night.
Sounds like you might need some hot lemon water in your cup this morning.
Yeah, I need lots of Prairie Fire coffee. I need lots of something, and here we go. What a night there! I was texting you about Monday Night Football, and you immediately were about to go Debbie Downer on basketball, and I flipped back over, and K-State was able to hang on and get the win. That That was a little tight. I don't know much about Tulsa.
They were picked
So-
sixth. They were picked eighth, excuse me, in the American
Yeah,
Conference.
but who cares? Like where they're, you know what I mean? Like
They're
imagine
Ken Palm
picking the American this year.
Yeah, I know.
And Ken Palm's down, so I can't pull up.
They were 117 last night.
117. That's not bad. That's not bad. That's right about where Wichita State started the year and lived. So you think Wichita State's 117?
They're better than 117.
Right, but that's where they started about.
Yeah.
So, we don't know yet what that, let's talk about, we'll go back and look at this game 2 months from now and we'll have a better idea of just exactly what it is. Most importantly, K-State just needed to win the game ahead of the Hall of Fame Classic that comes up later this week. They just needed to win the game, and they found a way to win the game, and they were a little bit tested, and you could tell their head coach certainly was excited that they won the game. Jerome Tang pretty fired up at the end of the game, and then apparently into the locker room and into the post game. But they were able to get it done. I think, what we sit here, and we'll talk to Wyatt Thompson about this in just a minute. When we sit here right now, the concern is they gave up 100 to Missouri, 90 to Newman, 71 to Bellarmine, 96 to Cal, and now 83 to Tulsa. This team's going to have to learn how to play some defense.
Yeah, that's what happened last night. That was the biggest issue of, why it was such a close game. The offense didn't score. That's kind of the joke, is that it's, can they score 100 points every game? They might need to score 100 points every single game to win games. And last night they didn't score 100 points. It was pretty close. And I think that's just a testament of what other teams are going to do to them based on K-State's defense and the way that they operate. And they're going to live and die by, we'll let you have points, but we're going to go try to get them right back. And then, some nights that's going to level out a little bit.
Yeah, look, it was another game too, just like the last time we saw them against Cal, where they played pretty good defense in the first half, and then they just let it go in the second half. And so there's a really specific thing there to look at if you're a Cat fan, like second half defense. How do the Cats react to the opposition reacting? Does that make sense? Like whatever adjustments are being made at halftime, K-State's got to be able to make them right back, because we've seen in a couple of games in a row now against better competition, those teams have made adjustments at halftime, and K-State hasn't been able to defend very well coming out of the break. But you still get PJ Haggerty being old reliable, which they're going to have this year. That's why they brought him in. That's why he was so coveted with a nice double-double. But again, it's the same old story with him. He gets to the line a ton. This is what he does. Wildcat fans, he is a scorer. He, in the truest sense of the word, he gets a ton of points from the free throw line, and right now they're going to have it just about every night if they want to be where they want to be at the end of the year. That's Tulsa's first loss of the year. We'll talk to Wyatt Thompson about it. We'll get his take on Tulsa, and how big time an opponent that is, because coming up now, Mississippi State and either Nebraska or New Mexico, and then Indiana, their next 3 games are going to be against pretty high caliber competition. And we'll, obviously it doesn't take a basketball genius to say, well, they're going to need to play better defense in those games, because they're going to need to play better defense in those games.
And play better defense in every game.
Right. Totally. I mean, in the Big 12, I mean, if you just, they'll have to be better in that category, but that's something most teams can improve on throughout the course of a year. Their offense is there. Their offense looks like what we hoped their offense would look like. Like if you're a Cap fan right now and you saw the roster composition come together, you're getting a lot of what you hoped for out of K-State. So again, we'll have that with Wyatt Thompson. We'll get into tonight's games. I mentioned kind of heavy underdogs here. Wichita State and KU. The Shockers are 9.5-point dogs. KU is 11.5-point dogs. And this creates a pretty fun storyline for the night. Who's getting on that that money line parlay for the Shockers and the Jayhawks tonight? Who's in on that?
I hadn't seen that yet until you said it at like the very opening of the show, and I have already taken Shockers money line since you said it. That is Shockers absurd line.
And
I don't know if I'm touching KU's money line. That's kind
of course, we don't expect Aaron Peterson to play. I don't believe that Bill Self didn't talk yesterday, did he?
No.
So, the last that we've heard is out. What was the term for a while?
The immediate future.
For the immediate future. Did that mean one game or did that mean a week?
How immediate is that? I don't know.
Right.
Maybe, I'm telling you, it could be some gamesmanship and he laces them up tonight.
It could be.
Not. I don't think
I don't think it is either. But 11.5? Just 11.5 even without it. Maybe not on the money line, but maybe you take the 11.5 points. But hey, we're going to get into all of it when we return, though. Wyatt Thompson joins as the Wildcats get that win in basketball. They're looking for one more win to reach a bowl. It's Sports Daily. I'll rock in Cleveland. Don't go away.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
Canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
831001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you
and inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Daily on KFH. And now, digging deeper with the teams you follow, it's another Sports Daily Insider interview on KFH.
And that insider interview, Wyatt Thompson, voice of the K-State Wildcats. Before we jump in, I want to tell you about the Odyssey Holiday Hookup now through Friday. You can enter to win this contest. Odyssey taking care of the food and fun this Thanksgiving. Win a full holiday feast and Thunder tickets for the whole family. Smoked ham, turkey, all the sides from Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, more than $200 in value, and 10 tickets to Wichita Thunder's Star Wars night on November 29th. Good luck there. Everybody just enter the keyword thanks to the number 20357. Message and data rates apply. We are joined by Wyatt Thompson, voice of the K-State Wildcats, fresh off of a late night there as K-State gets a win. Wyatt, we were just discussing there slightly how good is Tulsa, I guess. Should we be concerned at all there, or is Tulsa better than we thought? What did you get a read on last night with the opposition and the way they won the game?
Well, I would say a couple of things. One, I think you'd be crazy if you didn't say K-State had a little bit of good fortune in the last minute there to kind of find a way to win. And I also would say, too, that Tulsa's probably a little bit better than I thought they were going to be.
Okay.
They had a young man play last night that hadn't played yet, that had 11 points in the game and really helped them. I love their aggressiveness. They're not necessarily the world's best shooting team, and I think David Green was a great example of that, but it didn't stop him from continuing to claw and scratch and fight. I really, really liked, just how competitive they were. I think K-State did some good things, but again, good fortune there towards the end because they were dealing with, a situation with PJ Haggerty with 4 fouls. They took him out. Coach Tang mentioned afterwards, it's probably on me. I left him out a little bit too long. And so you get, the back-to-back steals and buckets to find a way when maybe it looked pretty darn bleak. I'll be honest. I thought with a minute to go, they were cooked. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, it was a lot of good fortune between a loose ball falling right to Haggerty's hands, the layup, everything like that. But there's something to be said, whenever you're down. That's what Coach Tang was screaming about after the game on the sideline interview. I don't know if you got a chance to see that or not. He probably screamed at you too, honestly. What does that say about a team? The ability to go get the stop you needed to get the bucket you need to get. There's takeaways that are positive from that, definitely.
Well, and he mentioned to us in the radio postgame show that they do work on those scenarios from time to time towards the end of practice. And I think it did pay off. There was probably for me, the good fortune is in the play where Nate Johnson kind of jumped into the passing lane, forced the pass a little bit wide. Everybody thought that he touched it. It goes to the replay. He didn't. K-State rushes right down and scores. That's the other thing. I don't know that they necessarily got good fortune with making those buckets. They had to go get those, right? But then after you get the bucket, then you get into that full court pressure and force another one. And Castillo goes down, hits the tough layup, and you find a way. Now, again, they had to fight him off 2 times in the last 18 seconds. There was another review after Green missed a shot, and or I guess they missed a shot. I don't remember if it was exactly Green, but it goes out. Another review, they get the ball 4 seconds to go. Green misses one, ball falls to the floor, and you win the game. And I think you again, I think this is a team that's continuing to learn and evolve, and I do like their competitive fire. I mean, it's obvious PJ's a special talent, but I think others are making their way too. I've said all along, our fans are going to like Nate Johnson for all of the things that he can do. I don't know that he's great at one particular thing, but he's really pretty darn good at a lot of them. And I really like the way Kamari's coming on, and it's obvious to say David Castillo, right? He shot the ball in the last 3 games, like just at a different level.
I would say too, we're talking about good fortune. I don't even know if it was kind of bad fortune, but they overcame it at the very end. That ball goes out of bounds, unfortunately, off of K-State, and they have to make 2, not 1, but then 2 defensive stops, only up 1 against, and they got them both done. So that was impressive, I guess, to see the rebound. But the reality is, what is going on in these second halves to allow these teams to, just their second half defense has not been any good. Is it them not adjusting to the adjustments the other team is making? What do we make of several times now, the second half, the defense just looking pretty bad, quite honestly?
Yeah, and I think to be honest, I think more times than not, it's a little bit of focus. I know that was certainly the case in the Cal game, and I'm not an excuse maker, or at least I don't believe I am, but you're up 55-34, and they didn't have a lot of juice coming out in the second half, and Cal made them pay. I mean, it was a game, no doubt. Very worrisome there in the last couple of minutes. The one thing that was different last night, though, is K-State was better with the turnovers. That is a big deal. The secondary part was in a game that, again, I mentioned how Tulsa fought, and I thought they were warriors on the glass. Not a lot of people like to talk about stuff like this, but the guard rebounding for K-State last night probably saved their tail, if you want to know the truth. I mean, PJ had a good night. Nate had a good night. I mean, those kind of things that's probably what they're going to have to do. They don't necessarily have a dominant center or centers, but with that said, I think another guy that's starting to kind of get a feel is Doreen Buka. He was pretty good last night. I don't have the box right in front of me, but probably played the most minutes of his short K-State career to this point. He affected some plays. I'm going to say it was a pretty good effort for the most part, but you're right that if they can continue to make that progress with the turnovers and rebounding and then figure out a way to adjust to the adjustments, as you said, in the second half, now you got something. And this is such an interesting stretch coming up, as you know. We've got Mississippi State Thursday night at T-Mobile, and then either Nebraska or New Mexico after that. And then Monday we leave and go to Bloomington to take on Indiana next Tuesday. So huge stretch coming up.
Yeah, how about a Mississippi State game at midnight, basically? How late can they make these games, Wyatt? What are they doing to you? Wyatt Thompson, voice of the Cats, joining us here. We'll switch over to football because it's kind of the same story, ironically, against the team from Oklahoma that they've played down to a little bit. You can make that argument. But the fact of the matter is that I feel like the coaching staff and the players and even the fans a little bit are wrestling with the fact of that was, kind of an ugly win, and you don't have a great taste in your mouth about it, but you also won in Stillwater, which you haven't done in a while.
That's perfectly said, because it was not pretty. I didn't think K-State played with a lot of passion. I've had several people say things like this to me, and I understand it. They played at Kansas like it was important to them and it meant something to them, and I think that's accurate. I don't think they necessarily did that on Saturday. Coach mentioned something at the press conference on Monday that surprised me a little bit, in saying that they played probably a little bit tight and not to lose. Those guys understand. They know K-State had won, in my time, they had won one time there back in 2017 and lost a lot of close games, 45-42 and 38-35 and those kind of games. It's not like they've played awful there, but it is hard to win there. And I understand Oklahoma State's not bad. I'm not trying to say that they're really a good football team, because they're struggling. But on this particular day, they were playing, more sound and with a lot more juice. And I think that showed. And I understand too, you score 14 points and win a game, that's pretty rare. So depending on how you look at it, I thought the defense was good, but the offense, not so much.
Well, you just got to win them. I mean, honestly, you just got to win them at this point. You're a win away now from a bowl game. They're going to be somewhat hobbled going into Utah against a Utah team trying to make the college football playoff right now. Is it going to need the best game of the year kind of a situation for K-State to go get it done now before the finale next week?
I think you could probably make that argument, Jacob, because in studying these guys for the last several weeks, I think they probably have the most physical offensive line, maybe the best offensive line in the Big 12. They have 2 pro tackles on the offensive line. Their running backs are good. They have 2 quarterbacks that scare the hell out of you in the run game. There's a lot to be concerned about. And then there's their defense. I mean, a couple of thoughts here for you there. They're averaging about 40 points a game. Here's what bothers me. They rush for 278 yards a game, fellas, for the season. That's 83 yards better than the next best team in our conference. That's crazy.
That's a lot.
And their defense is very stout, very physical, and very deep. I believe in studying these guys, and again, I'm not a coach. I always like to say that because everybody knows I'm not. But their secondary is good. You're playing without Jace Brown. You hope you get J.B. Bradley back. But it's going to be like pulling teeth against those guys. I mean, you better open it up and rock and roll. And I'm not saying that's just the only thing, but you're going to have to try to match their physicality. You got to try to, win on first down, get off the field on third down defensively, those types of things. You almost equate it to probably Tech. The difference is we're on the road this time in a really hard environment. So it's a real challenge for sure. I think it's hard for me to say that they're better than Tech, and it's hard for me to say that they're better than BYU, but they could be better than BYU. I think they could beat BYU on a neutral field. They didn't beat them in Provo, but it was 24-21 in anybody's game. So it gives you an idea they're pretty damn good.
Yeah, Wyatt, the thing about it too is the fact that Utah is pretty damn good, and K-State in the last 10 days have lost officially Dylan Edwards. Austin Romaine is shut down for the rest of the year. Jace Brown is probably done for the rest of the year. It sounds like you might not have Bradley. Like this is like a bowl game roster that we're going to see after people hit the transfer portal. Technically, that's what it seems like. It feels like what roster will we see?
Well, you make a good point because nobody likes excuses, and that is true. But let's be honest. If you don't think a big part of this, then you're not paying much attention because, I mean, just with Romaine and Osunsami by themselves, that's probably the 2 best defensive players K-State has, and they're both out. Jace Brown, you could argue that if going into the year he was either their first, second, or third best big play option behind and or around Dylan and Avery, and now he's out. And coach has basically, admitted to the fact that he's done for the season. You got to have some young guys step up, and it's hard in that environment and against that group. I mentioned the secondary because, without Jace, even with Jace, it's going to be hard to get things against them because of their corners and their safety play. They have three corners, including their nickel, who are better than most, and so that's why it's a challenge. You're going to have some semblance of a run game, and they rushed for 100 yards against Tech, so they could probably do that here, but they need to play with some passion and make some plays, and it's as simple as that. You probably have to play a little bit of, if not quite a bit above what you've been lately. And if you do that, maybe you have a chance. We'll see.
It will be a tough test, but this is where that Avery Johnson factor, I think, can come into play. if all else fails and he can be pesky on the ground, you just never know. It's certainly what Utah's worried about this week, I would imagine, as they try to get into a CFP. I mean, their hair is going to be on fire for this one.
Yeah, and that's again, Coach was asked Monday at the presser about the crowd there and the atmosphere, and he said, "Hey, I've never been there, but just what other coaches around the league have told me, it is a bear to play there. They are really into it, and you're right, they have so much on the line, and I understand why they think this. They think they're as good as the other two teams in the league.
Yeah,
right. They just do, and I think in some areas they definitely are." And maybe a little better in some areas. Again, I don't want to say that they're better defensively than Tech, because I think Tech's really good, but they're not too far behind. I'm sitting here looking at John Henry Daly at a defensive end, one of the top sack guys in the country, not just the Big 12, and that secondary. I mean, Teo Johnson, Nate Ritchie, Blake Cotton, Smith Snowden. Can't even describe to you fellas how much football those guys have played. This is a veteran, hard-nosed defense.
It is. Wyatt, as they get down the final stretch, 2 games left. It's going to Utah, then they host Colorado for the final game of the year. The story that is easy to follow is you need one more win to get to that bowl eligibility. In this day and age of college football, it's changed, and there's no lying that it hasn't changed. The bowl games aren't, as important as they used to be. But I think the biggest factor now is the extra practices, I would imagine. Are they talking about that? Do they understand, that they need one more, everything like that?
Oh, yeah. I think it's always on their mind. I even asked Will Ancio about that this week, and as one example. And he said, it's their focus now. This hasn't been what any of us wanted, and everybody understands that. The the goals and the sights that were set in the beginning, they're not even in the hemisphere of that. No. But I think it would be good for this team to get into a bowl game and play one. And for a lot of reasons, like you said, I mean, you want to keep, even though this hasn't been what they've wanted, a bowl season would help them, I think, moving forward. I always have believed, and somebody prove me wrong if they want, I always believed it helps recruiting. Now, is it the same playing in Memphis or Shreveport as it is New Orleans in the Sugar Bowl? No. But they'd still be going, right? And I think that's the way you have to look at it.
Yeah, it still puts them on a national stage. I think there's something to that. Wyatt, you guys will have it for us on Saturday, 3 o'clock. You'll hear it right here on KFH, home of Wildcat Athletics. Enjoy the trip to Utah. Hopefully it is enjoyable. K-State, a 17.5-point underdog. I can't remember the last time we've seen something like that. So it's going to take a Herculean effort, I think, from the guys out there to try and pull off a special Saturday on the road in one of the toughest places to play in all of college football.
I'm not too sure you wouldn't have to go back to the 2003 championship game to see K-State being a bigger underdog than this.
And what happened in that game?
I don't know that. Haven't researched it, but that's a pretty mighty underdog at 17.
And what happened in that game?
Yeah, 35-7 Cats.
That's right.
I remember that. Like it was yesterday.
As well before I got into this part of the world, man. I remember that game. I remember where I was, a freshman in college. That was a wild one. That was a wild one. All right, Wyatt. Well, enjoy the trip. We'll be back here next week, talk all about it.
Wish we could use Darren Sproles in the game Saturday, too. That might help.
So I was just thinking of, I was like, man, that was the Sproles game.
See you guys.
See you, Wyatt. Wyatt Thompson, voice of the K-State Wildcats. Man, I do remember that. I was at my roommate's girlfriend's house watching that with a bunch of volleyball players. Just like, what is happening? This is one of the greatest upsets. And I hated Oklahoma at that point. But that was a fun game.
Man, 17.5. I didn't see that line yet. That's crazy.
17.5. I mean, I believe it. K-State's so hobbled coming in. So hobbled coming into that game. It's it's going to be tough. But that's where you get Avery Johnson in moments like that.
Has K-State won a football or basketball game in the state of Utah since they joined the Big 12? I don't think they have.
I would have to do a little research. Good question. It's a good question. we'll have to look at that. It's only been through this year 3.
Yeah,
year 3. We can go back and look at that. All right, we'll come back. We got a lot to get to today. Some big basketball games tonight. We're coming right back. More Sports Daily after this.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
The canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
310-01 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospitalized from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
only on KFH.
All right, welcome back in, everybody, to Sports Daily. Thanks to Crestview Country Club for its support of the program. If you need a holiday party, if you're looking for somewhere to go, give Crestview Country Club a call. It is a great time to join. They have activities and festivities all week. It's another bourbon and bites tasting this week out at Crestview Country Club. Thanksgiving, they are doing to-go meals. They're doing a huge buffet. Again, they host all kinds of parties if you have a company party or something you need to do. And it is a great time of year to join if you are looking for the best deal possible. Give Crestview a call. Tell them we sent you. Thanks for being here, everybody. The issue going on right now with the live streams with X is out of everybody's control. So if you're with us on Facebook, YouTube, we appreciate it. Of course, 12 News Connected, always available for you. Thanks for listening to us here on KFH and on the Odyssey app. Maybe
Jacob,
a good day.
We got breaking news.
Okay.
Speaking of Crestview Country Club, Pete Taylor Eldridge of the Eagle just tweeted that the Wichita Open is leaving the Korn Ferry Tour and is joining the PGA Americas Tour.
Yeah, we knew that. We knew that. That already that had come down. I don't know what it'll mean just yet. That news has been out there. The tournament, I would imagine, largely will stay the same for us as consumers. The players will just change. It's been a whole thing to try to. It's a little silly to me, and I don't know all the behind the scenes details on it. But if I'm the Korn Ferry, like it gets into this, like to me on it, the Korn Ferry would be crazy. It's the biggest purse, it's the biggest crowds. It's all of these things, but it's so closely tied to that PGA Tour that they're so restrictive and needy in what they need the course to do. That's I think what we're dealing with here. So it's who knows how long. But again, and when I first heard this a little while ago, I wondered, are people going to care about this? I mean, you're probably a casual golf fan, TJ. Are you going to care about this?
I mean, I'm currently Googling who plays on the PGA Americas Tour.
I was okay. Don't do that. Don't do that. Tell me right now, outside of the locals, can you name me 3 players that are on the Korn Ferry Tour next year?
Next year, I could name you the ones that are on it this year. I don't know what it's going to be next year. I mean, Blades Brown is on the Korn Ferry Tour.
Do you know who any of these players are before you look at them when they come to play in the Wichita Open?
I mean, I'm not closely following the Korn Ferry Tour, but I know of them because of their notable like Neil Shipley was in Wichita this past year. That was a Korn Ferry golfer.
Is that the Texas guy?
No, that's the guy that played with Tiger in the Masters as the amateur.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know any of these guys anyway. So to me, it doesn't mean anything. Like, I don't care. But it might. And I'm not saying that as like that's how it's. I don't know. That's why I asked the question. Like, for me, it's just a community event that's super fun. And I don't think that, if we were losing the PGA Tour, that would be one thing. But I think we're dealing with amateur golfers one way or the other. I think the Korn Ferry Tour is insane for this, by the way. Again, biggest purse, biggest crowds, biggest event, but they get tethered to things that are outside of everybody's control. So, I don't know what the
when
I don't know
when
what
did
the
we learn about this. This is like the first.
They'd sent something out a little while ago. I just don't think people really. I can't put my Twitter is down, just like our ability to do this, so I can't even see it. I'm not sure what's being reported here this morning, but this is not the first I've heard of this news. So we'll just play that by ear. I don't know what to make of it yet. I just like I didn't then. I don't now. I would need to know. Like I don't know that I'm going to know what to make of it until the event happens. I just don't think.
Yeah, for the fan viewing experience, it's not going to be different.
Right. And ultimately to me, that's all that matters. Like, I just want a great community event. Is it going to be, they have good players too, though. I mean, they have good players. They're just, again, like it's one step. It's like AA, AAA probably would be a fair equivalent to it. And again, you're going to get great golf. You're going to get a fun event. Does it matter? We'll find out. We'll find out. I'm not sure what to make of it, and I'm not sure how long this lasts and how temporary it is. What I do know and what drives me absolutely crazy about it is we could go along the Korn Ferry Tour this year and see a lot of sites with nobody there, right? Like we know that.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it's been.
Why in the world would they not just make sure this event? I'm saying they as in the tour. Anybody that anything here locally.
I don't know. It sounds more so reading Taylor's story here is that they're like restructuring what the minor league system of golf looks like. And I think that they're moving some Korn Ferry, like less Korn Ferry stuff and more of the PGA America. I'm not really sure exactly what it is, but apparently a lot of long time Korn Ferry sites have gotten dropped and there's just not going to be a tournament anymore. And so Wichita made sure to land somewhere is what it sounds like.
Yeah, it's silly. If there is a minor league tour, it needs to make a stop at Crestview Country Club where the most festive, fun, and biggest pursed event exists. I'll bet you the players aren't happy about it. You know, like at what point what are we doing here? Like, who is this even for? But it'll be put on a great event just like it always is. And it'll be the Wichita Open more than it is the Korn Ferry Tour. In my opinion, it'll be more that it's the Wichita Open. And I don't care what is playing there because it's a big, fun community event that raises a bunch of charity money and has a lot of fun. And so we'll have to get more details on it as we get closer to it next summer. Based on what we saw out of the community this year and even getting that thing operational after the storm that blew through and annihilated everything, I'll bet you the community's itching and gearing up for a good time. Now, does it have a date yet? Does he have a date on that?
It's going to be the same. It's going to be the same. It's the middle of June.
It goes back to Father's Day weekend this year.
I don't know. I don't know if it's exactly Father's Day, but it's still that same June-ish slot.
We'll have to get some details on that. We'll get somebody in here to talk to us about it that can explain a little bit more of what's going on at some point in the time coming as it gets a little bit closer. But yeah, boy, it's I don't know. I don't know if it's a bummer or not. I don't think it is. I don't think it matters. I'll be perfectly honest. I think the golf event is more than the tour that plays on it. That's my opinion. Golfers might tell me something otherwise. Really diehard golf people, but I'll be curious to see it. That's for sure. And I do. I think they're crazy for not doing everything they can to have that event. Some headlines before we get into college basketball. We want to make sure we have enough time for college basketball in the next segment. Did you see Jamar Chase suspended for a game for $500,000? Why is it? What is the sensation to spit on people? We saw it in the opener.
On somebody?
Yeah. Like, have you ever in your entire life been inspired to spit on somebody? I know that it's like this ultimate sign of disrespect. Like, what is more? If you were, what would you rather be? Slapped or spit on? What would make you angrier?
Getting spit on. That's disgusting.
Yeah, I don't. That like it's like why is that the thing that you go to? Like if you're in a standoff with somebody jawing, who spits on somebody?
I mean, if you're wearing helmets, slapping isn't going to do much.
What a weird thing to do, though, right? Like, did you just spit on me?
It feels very like Romeo and Juliet, like old Shakespearean. I spit on you, sir.
Like, what a weird thing to do. And we see it now. We've seen it. We saw who was it in the opener that did that? And got kicked out of the game. It was Jalen Carter.
Yeah.
It's like, what? Why are you spitting on somebody? Punch him, hit him, do something else. Like, don't spit on him. It's just so weird.
Gross. Spit is disgusting. I can't stand spit.
It doesn't like I'm not grossed out by it or anything. I just can't imagine like getting to the point where I was inspired to spit on somebody. Cost him $500,000. $500,000 for that loogie. Did he even get a loogie? I didn't see it. I didn't watch the video. Did he even get a loogie in there, or was it just saliva?
Not. If it was a loogie, it might have been a full $1 million in 2 games.
That's a loogie. That'd be so gross. Speaking of loogies, apologies to everybody watching on the video stream right now. I look like crap here this morning. I don't know if you've been married long enough to get to this point, TJ. I got home last night and I can feel something coming. This throat's a little scratchy or whatever. And I just like give it like a, like across the house. And I hear my wife say, "Did you just cough?" And I know what's coming. Like, getting sick is so inconvenient for our wives, and they have like zero sympathy. And I'm like trying to hide it because I just don't even want to hear it. And it's just like one throat clear, and it's like the radar goes off. It's like, what was that? What was that? I'm like, I don't know. I cleared my throat.
Start pumping drugs down your throat.
Oh God, are you sick? I don't know. I don't know. Am I? It's funny. You see all those funny videos too, and it's like it's universal. It's just like one of those stereotypes that goes through, and it cracks me up every time. I knew it was coming. Thanks for hanging with us here this morning through it. Thanks to Wyatt Thompson, by the way. If you missed it on the Odyssey app, you can go back and listen in podcast form. We are just a couple minutes away from our second hour, and we'll spend some time today with college basketball. We had K-State last night. Well, we've got an interesting night of college basketball coming tonight. Wichita State and KU, both heavy underdogs. Now, KU, you'd expect that, right? If Darren Peterson doesn't play, and the expectation is he doesn't, and Duke looks really good. And it is jarring to ever see KU that heavy an underdog. And I would, by the way, I would take the points tonight. I would take the points. That's a lot of points, even without Darren Peterson. But it's not just that. It's Wichita State is a heavy underdog.
That one I'm so excited about because, like, I've talked to you about this. Like, the best thing you can do for people like us and people in Wichita that follow mid-majors closely, like Wichita State, Vegas has no idea. And they don't adjust until about conference play. So it's like, if you've got something that you think is hot, as much as we think the Shockers are hot right now, like, this is where you strike, is this game. Because all they're doing is, I just follow the trends here. If you go look at any mid-major college basketball game that's on DraftKings, because they're incredible, like, they have every game on there, every single line is just based on KenPom. They just say, "Oh yeah, well they're 50, so they should win by double digits probably."
Well, and that's what this exactly one is.
Happened.
Boise, right? Boise still is in the 50s, I believe. The metrics really like Boise. They are their top. What is it? And again, KenPom is down with the same issue. Twitter is down this morning. By the way, if you're just waking up or getting in your car, there's some kind of internet issue here this morning, nationwide. It sure looks like. But yesterday when I looked, I think they were top 80 in offensive and defensive efficiency. I know they were under 100, and Wichita State still on the other side of 100 on that. So yeah, the metrics do like Boise, even with that bad loss they had quite a bit. We'll talk about that game. We'll talk about KU, Darren Peterson situation. We can go to Monday Night Football as well in the next hour. It's all coming up for you on Sports Daily. Don't go away.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
The canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
831001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems
Why are they hiding it?
and real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Now, from Wichita's most listened to sports radio, 97.5 and 1240 KFH. This is Sports Daily.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. It is Sports Daily. Glad to be here with you on this Tuesday. Thanks for tuning in here on KFH. Max Power has your hotline at 869-1240. Thanks for watching us. 12 News Connected, Facebook, YouTube, as there's an outage on X here this morning. We got a lot of college basketball to get you ready for this evening. We'll do that. We've got Monday Night Football to review. Our thanks to Wyatt Thompson for joining in the first hour. If you missed anything on K-State, they're thrilling. Very down to the wire win last night at home against Tulsa. It's all What's on tap for you here today? Brought to you by the Wichita Brewing Company, where groups gather for holiday fun, beers with the boys, girls' night out, a glass of wine with a longtime friend. WBC, the place where groups gather for the holidays. East West, historic Delano, Wichita Brewing Company, pizza and beer made here. All right, let's go a little Monday Night Football here off the top, and then we'll get into college hoops in our full segment coming up after this. TJ, I think if you're a Chiefs fan here today, you don't love what you saw last night, because the Cowboys are one of those games where you'd hoped that you might be able to get one in. They were a team that was under 500, but they went and they made a bunch of trades on defense. They're getting healthier on defense. So they made a trade for 2 players that are immediate upgrades for them, and they get a player or 2 back from injury after the bye. And all of a sudden, that was a pretty impressive defensive performance last night. Not that the Raiders are great, but Dallas typically doesn't play good on the road. They played good on the road. We know those wide receivers are unbelievable. And that game is in Dallas on Thanksgiving. I don't, if I'm a Chiefs fan last night, I don't love what I saw, because Dallas in Dallas is not going to be easy.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing that we've been talking about, is this Chiefs schedule and where can the easy wins come. You know, you look at the Titans down there in the schedule, and you'll play the Raiders again, I believe, in that final week of the season, are ones that you could have circled. And Dallas was one as a team that was 3-5, that 3-6 if you want to count the tie or something, of like, that's a team that could be one of them. But it's in Jerry World, it's on Thanksgiving, when they always play. Like, if you're this Chiefs team, honestly, I don't think it matters who you're playing right now. I think that they're all a little stressful for the way the Chiefs are playing.
Yeah, they're all stressful, and it matters, home and road. The Chiefs have been much better at home. I do think I think it's okay to start really dissecting this thing. But the Chiefs' big wins this year, the Ravens, the Lions, like, they have looked really good at home and really bad on the road. The Jacksonville loss was on the road. The Buffalo game was on the road. Of course, most recently against Denver, like, the offense has just not been nearly as good playing away from home. And they better figure that out, because now one of your road games is Dallas. Now, the good news is the other 2 are the Tennessee and the Raiders game. So if we're talking about schedule, the good news is most of these games are at Arrowhead. And most of the difficult ones are still at home. They've looked really good at home. Their last 3 home games, TJ, have basically been 90-24, is the outcome there. And one of those games was against the Lions. So you do feel good about that. That's why they're still being given a pretty good chance to get in, still being given a pretty good chance, and they haven't like totally fallen off and all the odds and things. But, the playoff path goes on the road this year now, and they have no wiggle room. And this does not feel like a team that can have no wiggle room, but that's the reality that faces them. So if you put a number on it, based on what we saw against Dallas last night, knowing that that's now one of these games and they probably can only afford one more loss. Maybe it's 2 if they get lucky, but it's probably 1 to be sure of it. What are you giving them? What are their chances? Give me a percentage. The chances that they make the postseason.
The Chiefs make the postseason?
Yeah.
I mean, 55.
I'm going to call it 50-50. I'm going to call it 50-50.
I'll give them the benefit of the doubt and give them the 5 there. But they're like, it's still like the chances that they make the postseason and the odds of it happening, like, not Vegas odds, like the literal, like, statistics class, like, of all the things that have to go right, it's stacked against the Chiefs. But like,
well, the whatever the analytics thing that CBS Sports uses, for instance, gives them a 57% chance to make it. Yeah. Round up, it's 58% chance to make it right now. They have to beat the Chargers because they're going to need to not have that tiebreaker looming, I think, when the time comes. So they'll have to win that one. That's probably the most must win of their remaining games. Like, if they're going to lose one, It can't be that one. Indianapolis is not a threat. You're not going to catch Indianapolis at this point. Houston is a team that they're tied with right now. So if you then go a little further, it becomes Houston and the Chargers are the games they cannot lose, and those are both home games. They come back to back. Actually,
it would be really nice if the Chiefs beat the Jaguars.
Oh, dude, I can't. I can't tell you how much brain space that game lives in for me. I cannot
It's
get
gonna
over.
be it's gonna be the reason they don't make the playoffs.
I cannot get over the fact that they lost that game. How ridiculous and stupid it was that they lost that game. How much that game feels like it's going to play into the ultimate implications of things. Like, that is as infuriating a loss as I can remember in a long time. Even with like the Denver game, right? Like, look, they missed a lot of opportunities, but they didn't blow it necessarily. Like, they didn't have it. They didn't snatch defeat out of the jaws of victory so much. They had opportunities that they missed. And boy, I went back and looking back at more of that game and just the missed throws from Mahomes, man, the two early deep balls that they didn't hit that were both, one of was for sure going to be a touchdown, but you missed both of those throws. The interception in the red zone, and then that third down, I can't get over that third down where he threw it behind Brashard Smith. And I don't know if that was his fault or Smith's fault. I'm not sure, but it was just a missed chance to run some more clock. And I'm just like, God, like, that you take for granted that they just don't miss those over the years here during this dynasty all that often, right? And they don't have that wiggle room. And when you watch a team like Dallas last night, I don't know how good Dallas is going to be defensively in general, how much better they'll be, because they were clearly better last night than they had been. But the one thing they did last night consistently, and it was against one of the worst offensive lines in football, but they put a lot of pressure on Geno Smith. And that's a problem if you're Kansas City, because as good as Kansas City's defense is at home, you think you're going to hold that offense to under 20? Probably not, right? With those receivers and their ability to run the football. So that was not a good thing for the Chiefs to see last night, or Chiefs fans anyway, to see Dallas look that much better defensively in that game on the road. They usually suck on the road. They looked really good last night.
Yeah. I mean, I think honestly, as I brought up after that Broncos game yesterday, is that like at this point, with the way that the playoff picture has shaped up, like the Chiefs schedule is so good. Like, they're going to play like the Texans and the Chargers. And I think those are the two that will actually have any meeting, and the rest of they're just hoping other people mess up at this point. Like they control their own destiny per se still. Like, I mean, not per se, they do. But like they also need people to lose games. Like,
yes.
And they're not going to play all of these teams.
Do you think, I mean, they lose so many tiebreakers. They were a game behind Jacksonville, and they'll lose a tiebreaker. So they're 2 games behind Jacksonville. Jacksonville has left on their schedule 4 road games, 3 home games: Arizona, Tennessee, the Colts, the Jets, the Broncos, the Colts, and Tennessee. I'll be stunned if Jacksonville doesn't lose 2 of those games, right? At Arizona, Indianapolis twice, at Denver. I'll be pretty surprised. Good on them if they don't, but I'll be pretty surprised. You play the Chargers. You're a game and a half behind the Chargers, who have their bye week this week. You'll play them, so you can end up tied in the loss column. You can pass Houston, right? The problem is, yes, you're asking for other things to happen to other teams at the same time as you still have 7 games to go, and I'm telling you, you can probably only lose 1 of them to guarantee it. 2 of them is where all these tiebreakers you're talking about come into play. And right now, like, if they come in there with 6 losses or with 7 losses,
I mean, like, listen to this.
A lot of tiebreakers.
If they lose to the Colts on Sunday, and then what's the schedule? Is it Colts and then what's
the Colts? What's so funny about it is the Colts are probably, if they're gonna lose 1, And we're not talking about Tennessee or the Raiders, even though those are road games, which I guess should be a little troubling the way they played on the road. But if we're talking about Colts, Cowboys, Texans, Chargers.
Cowboys still.
I mean,
hear me out. They lose one of them between the Colts and the Cowboys. They lose to the Texans on December 7th. They're done. They're out of the playoffs.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But I don't think what you just laid out is coming true, but that would definitely knock them out. They've been really good at home. We'll see this weekend. It'll be a great test, a home game against the Colts at least. All right, we're coming back. Let's talk a little college hoops when we return. Shockers, Jayhawks, both big underdogs. Who's got a better chance to prove them wrong tonight? We'll discuss.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts, so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
The canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
83101 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas Fan Headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospitalized from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSEW.
Daily is on KFH.
All right, welcome back in, everybody. It is Sports Daily. Glad to be here with you. You can't count on much these days. You can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL games all season long. Here we go. Week 12 matchup. Colts, Chiefs. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today. Another game you'll see, of course, on KWCH 12 News. Thanks for watching us right now on 12 News Connected. We'll be there. Yeah, you're sending Rachel this week up to Arrowhead.
We are.
It's down to 3 point. Remember, like yesterday we were talking about it. It was sitting at what was it, 4.5 already to 3.
I want to see it flip. It's a long ways away.
It's not going to flip. The Chiefs aren't going to be dogs at home, but it may get closer. It may get closer. That's a look. Indiana Jones going to have to beat him through the air. Jonathan Taylor's going to get his against anybody, but the Chiefs' run defense has been pretty good this year.
This has got to be like the Colts. This is the one where if the Colts win, everybody's going to be like, oh my gosh, the Colts are freaking good.
For sure. For sure. I think everybody's already there. Their point differential and everything is already really good. So, you get into it and you dig through, and they do a lot of things. They've got a great line. They've got a great run game. They've got a ton of pass catchers. Their defense is pretty good. Like, they have it all. It's just, is Daniel Jones for real or not? That becomes the thing for them. And we got to remember, he got a big contract for a reason, right? He was highly thought of prior to the last 2 years when they went into the postseason. Who'd they beat in that postseason? To get there, somebody well expected to do whatever, but we'll see. It's going to be a challenge. I am not comfortable with the Chiefs right now against the Colts, even at home. But am I comfortable picking against the Chiefs at home? I'm not sure about that yet either. It may take until Friday to get that full pick. All right, you've got the Shockers. Let's talk college hoops. 9.5-point dogs, true road game against Boise. You've got KU. Now I'm seeing it at 10.5. When I first looked this morning, it was at 11.5. So that's interesting. Remember, this is a neutral site game for Kansas against Duke. Duke is loaded, as they usually are. Cam Boozer, the freshman. This class of basketball looks fantastic. He's averaging 22 and 10 in his young career thus far. So they look like they're every bit of it. And Kansas doesn't have the pesky older players to get after it with a young guy. So look, it's going to be tough. There's no way to feel good about it. Peterson's probably not going to play. I will be surprised if Peterson plays. I guess we can't rule it out, but it sure seems unlikely.
Yeah, I can't imagine he's going to play. Like, Bill Self never does that kind of thing, and I think Bill Self saying immediate future, like, he wouldn't say that if it was 2 days and then he could play on Tuesday, unless something drastically changed where he tried it out and he was full sprinting and it was fine. But at that point, I think we go back to that original conspiracy conversation about why is he not playing against Princeton, but he's going to play against Duke? That kind of seems shady. So I don't think he's going to play. Long story short, he's not going to play. Yeah, I think that it's a lot of points to give the Jayhawks, and it always will be if you ever give them 11 points like that. But Duke obviously has their star freshman who's looked great as well. I don't know their whole roster after they just lost, the entire team to the NBA that just went to the national or Final Four last year, and so it's going to be a big spot. It's going to be a lot of fun. I think that if KU can find a way to, I don't want to say win. I think if KU can find a way to keep it within 10, then I think you'll be kind of pleased if they don't have Darren Peterson on the court.
What if Peterson does play?
What are you asking me?
What's your expectation? What if Peterson does play?
Oh, for the game?
Yeah.
I think that they could win. They're the best player in the country. Depends how much he's going to play.
Yeah. I don't think it's as iron maybe as you do that he's not going to play. I still think there was there's at least a reasonable possibility that they have been trying to keep him fresh and could roll him out in this game. He was, he's got what's interesting is he's got the hamstring injury, but we've seen him play with it because now we're hearing like it wasn't cramps, right? It was a hamstring. Well, we've seen him play through the cramps and he still looks pretty good. So if you were going to hold him back, this is maybe the game you deploy him. I'm not as sold as you that there's no chance he plays. I think there's some chance he plays.
I don't know. I think that if he plays, I think that there's going to be questions to answer from Bill Self if he plays.
What questions? What questions?
How can you say that he's out for the immediate future and then he plays 2 days later?
Because the immediate future is that game, that day at practice. He's saying immediate future. He's not saying he's out indefinitely. Immediate future is like right now. Immediate future is 1 second from now.
Who cares? Who cares if he can practice on Sunday? He was saying that about the game. There's no way he's going to play.
But what are you worried about if he plays? That everyone's like, well, you said he was out for the immediate future. I think Bill Self is not.
I think that this is the reason why, and coaches don't like it, that the Big 12 injury report in football, which is a thing in basketball, I think that'll go into effect for conference games, but it doesn't for this game. But
Bill Self, I think a part of the problem is he has not handled it well. But then I also try to think of what's he supposed to say? He's going to be out for 7 days. He doesn't know. He doesn't know how long he's going to be out. And so he's being asked this, and it's well, he's out for the immediate future. Which basically to me tells me he's not here right now. But we're now, how many days clear of that game are we?
2, 3 games. 3 days.
They play Saturday. So, if he was close Saturday,
then you say he's day to day. You don't say he's out for the immediate future.
He's not. He doesn't know what to say about it. That's what I'm saying. He doesn't. I don't
say that you don't know.
Listen, let me go. I don't think Peterson's going to play tonight. Okay, I don't think he will, because if there's any if it's lingering at all, I wouldn't play him. I know we all want Kansas to go show up and beat Duke, and this is a big game for them in recruiting and all of these things. It's not meaningless, but Kansas doesn't have to have it, right? It's just another game on their schedule. Kansas gets all they want in the Big 12. So it's not there's some team that this could determine ultimately their tournament fate down the road at some point in the NCAA tournament. I suppose that could still happen, but
looks a lot better.
It does, but you count on the Big 12 to provide you what you need to get into the NCAA tournament. But it is a big deal when Kansas is in the mix for some of the best players in the country constantly. I saw it, by the way, you'll have to help me with this. I saw a bunch of passive-aggressive tweeting yesterday and people trying to say something without saying something, with the GIFs and everything in the KU blog sphere. Any idea what any of that was about? Did they land somebody?
I have no idea.
Okay. You've got to be my translator on this stuff.
I'm sorry.
You gotta be my
I'm flying blind right now that I can't just peruse
what is
Twitter for the music.
What's the guy, the Guardians of the Galaxy guy, that GIF where he has Chris Pratt. Like that, I saw that one, but nobody ever says anything. I'm like, well, what the hell? Like, just either tell us or don't tell us. I didn't know if they landed somebody yesterday. I know they've been on, of course, Stokes, and that's a part of the reason I think a lot of people are, Shreyas Latta especially, who's our KU insider, is like, guys, he's like actively trying to help players come to Kansas. Like he's bought in, he's hurt, and I believe that. I believe that 100%. You've got to, if yourself and this coaching staff, you have to protect him against. You don't think Darren Peterson wants to play tonight?
I know.
I mean, this is a big deal.
He's hurt.
Cam Boozer's sitting there. People are trying to say Cam Boozer might be the best guy. Of course, he wants to play.
I know
you got to protect him against himself too.
Yes, 100%. He's hurt. He's not going to play. I like if that. We'll go back to this conversation because there's just like if he was going to play, then Bill Self would. And if he doesn't know, that's fine because injuries change. But if that's the case, you go into that press conference and whenever somebody asks, you just say, guys, I don't know. It's just a lingering thing. Like, we're going to get it as soon as we can. We'll figure it out. But you don't go there and say, he's going to be out for the immediate future. Like, if you are saying that in the terms of he might play Tuesday, then you cannot say the immediate future.
He can say whatever he wants, by the way. Like,
he's
Bill
gonna
Self doesn't care.
He's going to get, if he plays, like, I think that he might get an earful from Brett Yorm or somebody. Like, because listen to me. There's Vegas line. Like, this is a big deal now. This is why the injury report is a thing. They made a betting line based on the fact that Darren Peterson's probably not going to play because Bill Self said he's out for the immediate future. If he
Bill
plays,
Self does not care.
I know
about
he doesn't
the Vegas betting line,
but I bet that Brett Yormark probably cares.
What did he say that's dishonest? He was out for the immediate future. He was out
for
in that game.
Practice on Sunday. He said it after the game.
He said it after the game. So what? He doesn't practice. They test it before the game, and his hamstring feels okay, and they let him play. I don't think he's going to get a full workload. I don't think he'll play either. But I'm not going to give it an ironclad he's not playing because this whole thing has been hard to follow and weird. So I think there can absolutely be a world where he gets out there on this stage and gives it a go. Either way, they're big underdogs. They'd be underdogs even if he was playing. If he played, I would bet this line goes down to like maybe 5.5. Duke's still going to be favored. Duke appears to have at the moment a better roster. Whether they would at the end of the season, I think time will tell. But it's a big opportunity for a guy like Flory Badunga. It's a big opportunity for a guy like Cole Rosario. And every game that Peterson doesn't play, as we've mentioned, is a tremendous opportunity for the role players on this team to step into those roles.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. If they can keep this game within 10 and make a competitive game against Duke, who's a top,
they better be able to keep it within 10. Like Kansas, like there are no excuses if they get blown out in this game.
I mean,
like,
I just asked you yesterday if the team didn't have Darren Peterson this year, like they might not be a tournament team. Like that's the kind of team that loses to Duke by 15 points. So what's the big deal if they don't keep it within 10?
Well, it's a big deal for Kansas. Is it a big deal for reality for us on the outside? No, probably not. But for on the inside, like, yeah, you better think you can go play within 10 to Duke.
You should, but it's not going to be a disappointment if you don't have the guy that scores all of your points on the court.
Well, Flory Badunga just scored 25. They'll be internally, and I'm telling KU fans will lose their minds. Like the diehard KU fans, they're gonna say the season's over. That'll be the reaction. That'll be that. Some people are saying that after they win a game.
Hold on,
season's over. They're not doing anything.
8:29 on a Tuesday morning. Tomorrow we're gonna check back at 7:16. We'll start that first segment. There will be. I'll find 10 tweets saying that Bill Self should be fired.
Oh, for sure. That's what I'm saying. Like
I might even say 20. 20 tweets tomorrow morning. We'll find about Bill Self being fired.
The absolute reality is. It's November. It will be November 19th, and who cares? That's real life. But that's not college fan life. Real life is who cares? Like I don't care if they beat Duke by 20. Who cares? Right? Like I'll like it.
They beat Duke. What last year? Was that last year or 2 years ago? That they beat Duke.
Yes.
And then they skidded forever.
It's the hilarity to me this year, TJ, of the overreactions to November games after Kansas has been the best November team the last 2 years and ultimately fallen flat. I mean, it cracks me up. Kansas is not, this is not a team built to win on November 19th. Let's see if they start winning on February 19th, because that's been the problem the last 2 years is they didn't get any better.
We've had this conversation, and I feel like I'd much rather be in the other boat of being good in November, because it's a lot easier to fall from grace than it is to rise to glory. Like, if you're
I just don't think that's true. I think if you're truly having a good year, you are consistently raising the bar and getting better. Now, there are teams like, let's call it Houston last year, right, where they just were good and stayed good, but they had everybody back, right? That's the problem for Kansas, is they had everybody back and they never got any better. Look at Florida last year. Florida was not the best team on November 19th. They just kept getting better.
I don't know. So they beat the Shockers by 54
they beat
that
the
week.
hell out of the Shockers, and that was where we were all kind of like, what was that, right? That Florida team looked really good. But they did. They continuously got better over the course of the year. For Kansas this year, like, I don't want them peaking on November 18th against Duke at Madison Square Garden, which is where they peaked the last 2 years, was in these early games on a big stage, because these other teams with talented young players or a bunch of new players, they consistently got better. So for Kansas, like, all I want to know is that in 2 months, they're better than they were tonight. Win, lose, or draw, are they getting better is what ultimately will make the difference. It hasn't been good enough the last couple of years to be really good in mid-November. So, but with the reactions to it, whatever happens tonight are going to be overreactions. No matter what happens tonight, we'll overreact. We won't. Fans will largely overreact to it in the grand scheme of things. But in the grand scheme of things, the reality is they have so many things to figure out about this team. Like, what do we know for fact about this team right now at 8:33 on November 18th? What can you tell me for fact about Kansas?
Nothing.
That Flory Badunga is a freak athlete?
Doesn't mean anything. Like, that doesn't translate to points, as we've seen.
Well, he's been a better offensive player than I thought he would be so far. I think that's a fantastic development in the story of this season. His ability on the offensive end so far has really been a great thing to see. I didn't know he'd be there that quickly. He's been fantastic if he's on the floor. But and even after tonight, what are we going to be able to definitively say about this team? Probably two things: that Flory's for real and an offensive threat, and that Cole Rosario is going to be able to be a factor this year. What I don't think we'll see is anybody else on the roster take some massive step forward tonight. I hope I'm wrong about that, but I don't think we're going to see that tonight. And if Darren Peterson plays, then it's just going to be fun, right? Then it's just going to be a really fun game to watch and see. It'll be fun to see Peterson go up against Boozer. I'm with you. I don't think he will, but I'm just trying to put in perspective where we are in a season that it was already going to be full of unknowns. And now with the Peterson stuff, it's even more of an unknown for Kansas. And we're just like, you got to just live there and be comfortable with that.
I agree. I mean, I don't know. I really have no idea what to think of KU. Like, this is the one, because every time that we've seen them play without Darren Peterson, it's been against bad teams. So it's like, what does that look like against a good team if there is no Darren Peterson? I think that will answer a lot of the questions.
And KU is still a good team even without Peterson. It's just like good in relative to what, right? Good relative to the Big 12. That feels like a bit of a stretch.
If that's like, I don't think that they're going to be a great team without Darren.
No, they won't be great.
They won't even be really good.
Cole Rosario, you listening? Flory Badunga, you listening? Go put something out there tonight if Peterson doesn't play and get everybody excited. I can't take. It's too early for the nonsense online. That's too early for it. Let's talk Shockers when we return. What do they need to do tonight? What can we learn about them? That's next.
Lightning, hail, tornadoes, flooding. It's the worst of severe weather, and it's coming. Spring brings warmer temperatures, but also dangerous weather conditions. Stay up to date day or night with the Storm Team 12 weather app. You'll get accurate forecasts so you can plan ahead and stay safe, no matter the weather. Download the Storm Team 12 weather app, brought to you by Stutzman's Greenhouse.
The future of television has arrived. Next Gen TV is here with stunning video, movie theater quality sound, enhanced voice clarity, and interactive features, all upgradable for the future. Learn more at watchnextgentv.com.
The canvas of our imagination. They tell a story. Clouds affect the events of your day. Sometimes they growl, sometimes they inspire, but they're always the messengers of nature's mood, written in the sky. Storm Team 12 understands the language of clouds. We're dedicated to decoding their message, so you know what to expect. Behind every cloud, there is a story waiting to be told. Trust Ross Jansen and Storm Team 12, alerting you first to the impact on your life.
We are following a breaking update.
Every day, all day, stream the stories that have you talking near and far.
Whoever is behind the wheel of this bus is not stopping.
From hundreds of local reporters and meteorologists spanning the country.
Chaos here this morning at the UW campus.
Search LNL for the all-new Local News Live streaming app.
Odyssey is one of the most influential audio and entertainment brands in the nation. You already know Odyssey's iconic local radio brands in Wichita. But did you know Odyssey has the country's best collection of music, news, and sports brands? Odyssey is also a premium podcast creator, major event producer, and digital innovator. Odyssey brings people together across the country and right here in Wichita. Odyssey also delivers meaningful radio and digital audio results. Find out our story and impact at odysseyinc.com/Wichita.
Make yourself known now.
831001 in traffic pursuit.
Oh my God, here.
Investigate TV Plus begins with real people.
We investigate stories that impact you.
And inspire change every day.
Something is broken.
Real problems.
Why are they hiding it?
And real solutions.
My daughter was dying in front of me.
What was your reaction when he said that?
Investigate TV Plus, weekdays at 3:30 p.m. on KWCH.
Sometimes people tell us, I don't get it, it's just tea. But let me tell you, we are so much more than just tea. With 20 plus flavors of sweet and unsweet iced tea, the possibilities are endless. Come on in and try them all for free to find your favorite or get us on the go for your busy lifestyle. And don't miss happy hour every day. So the next time someone tells you it's just tea, tell them to come by and find out why we say, drink tea, be happy.
Jim Rome here, lighting up your afternoons on The Jim Rome Show. Catch me starting at 2 on Wichita's #1 sports radio, Kansas fan headquarters, 97.5 and 1240 KFH.
Mornings are busy. We're here to make your mornings better. We report the stories that affect you.
3 more hospital lies from contaminated apple juice just a day after the FDA issued a recall.
We're here to make your mornings better.
Closing east and westbound lanes of K96 for repairs.
With 12 News, you're prepared for your whole day.
Scattered thunderstorms across the state into the afternoon.
Stay a step ahead with 12 News this morning on KWCH and KSCW.
Sports Daily is on KFH.
Well, all right, welcome back in here, everybody. Let's get you a chance to win a pair of tickets to see Journey at Intrust Bank Arena on April 4th. You can text the keyword Journey to the number 20357 right now. One entry per day until Friday. The winner will be picked after that. Standard message and data rates apply. So there's one contest. And then the other, of course, that we need to get you to is an HTO cup of iced tea, which you can text to win with the keyword T to the short code, same one, 20357. You can also enter that once per day, get a free tea, more than 25 flavors to choose from, East Wichita, West Wichita, or Derby. While you're there, by the way, Thanksgiving pre-order gallons, 2 for $5 or 2 for $10 right now. Any multiple of 2, you get a little bit of a discount. You can pre-order those, set those for pickup next week for your Thanksgiving meals. So go to your local HTO or order on the app to get that special deal for gallons this time of year. It is a crazy time of year for that, TJ, in our world on the outside. I really don't have time to be sick. This is a bit bad timing to be sick.
Figure it out.
I figure it out. We'll be fine. We'll get there. Load up on the meds. I appreciate everybody bearing with that. It's a good day for Twitter to be down and the stream to get a little. Oh, it is back. Well, let's go live for a segment. No, it's not back. It's not back.
Okay. It's back for me.
Well, I don't know what's going on here.
It's all right. If the people want to watch us, they can do it the old-fashioned way by going to the YouTube machine.
Yeah,
we're gonna have to turn on the radio.
Well, we got a lot of people. By the way, shout out to everybody. We didn't talk about this Vets Aid. It was the Vets Aid for Joe Walsh. It's great. It's fantastic. Vince Gill, who was excited about, rocked it. It was incredible. Nathaniel Rateliff. I'm not as like on Joe Walsh as people around here. Obviously, he's from here. Great show. But I'm going to tell you, TJ, a lot of people that listen to this show stopped around, walking up for a beer, going to the restroom or whatever. A lot of people listening to the show stopped and said thanks for being there. So we appreciate all of you that are listening out there on KFH, on your way to work, all the different places, all the different ways. Thank you for being here with us. Let's talk Shockers. Corey asked on Facebook a while back, do we think that Wichita State can win the game tonight? Sure, they can. Absolutely, they can. This is a big, 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 big spot for Wichita State tonight. And, if the things that we've seen so far, TJ, hold true, then absolutely, Wichita State can go on the road and win that game. But what do we count on out of Wichita State? I think you hope for no turnovers. I think like we saw. And I think you hope for a level of defense that translates to the road. Let's throw the jinx out there again into the universe. It's hard to count on going and shooting the way that they shot the last time we saw them, come out and go 16 of 32 from 3 on the road. So it'll, points will probably be a little harder earned tonight, but defense has to translate. And that's one thing we know when we get into conference play. It's one thing we know out of great Wichita State teams is even when they've been offensively challenged, which were a lot of teams in those great years, by the way, the defense travels. And the defense is always there, and it's relentless, and it's there constantly and consistently. Let's find out if this team's got that in them. Can they go be that kind of defensive team on the road? And if they can, they're going to win a lot of games this year.
Yeah, listening to what, Coach Mills talked to us about yesterday before they got on the plane to go to Boise, reading, Taylor Eldredge's article about the keys to the game. It's synonymous of the things that's going to have to happen in this one is the fact that Boise State is one of the best rebounding teams in the country. They're really big. Coach was saying they've got 7-footers that do a lot. They shoot threes. And so it's kind of a little bit, which I don't want to say Wichita State doesn't have that either because they have a 7'2" guy. But they rely on a lot of size. Wichita State's going to have to rely on some speed, I think. I think it's going to have to rely on going fast and scoring points quick, which they've done. So I think that it's as Paul Millsism is that defense is how you win and offense tells you how much it is the one that he used this past week. And that's It's true, but I think that there's going to have to be a lot of offense that's going to have to translate into this game. They're going to have to play fast. They're going to have to shoot at least semi-well. They're probably not going to make 16, but they're going to have to knock down shots because they're going to kind of pack it in because they know how big they are, and they're going to want to they might take away Will Berg just because of the size that they've gotten. So they're going to have to push it fast. They're going to have to make a lot of threes, and obviously they're going to have to not turn the ball over. But that you could say that about every single opponent there. So as one of the best rebounding teams in the country, Wichita State's rebounded it pretty well as well. So it's interesting.
Well, they have, and I thought that what Paul Mills told us, which by the way, you can go back and listen to that on the Odyssey app from yesterday, about the rebounding was good too. How many of those, they have ways they can track it that are a lot easier than the ways we track it, which is for rebounding. Usually it's just looking at the box score. Now we watch the games and we have a sense of it, but when you're looking for the stats of it, but they have other methods they use. How many of those were block shots? How many of those were actual reboundable balls? And he said they've been pretty pleased with where they are in those areas so far. Defense and rebound. I mean, it's so cliche, but it's true. I mean, TJ, I coach a 5th grade girls basketball team, and it's the same thing. Like, if you guys will rebound and if you guys defend, they can't beat you. They can't beat you if they can't score. And so, that's you get up to the highest levels anywhere, and that's the kind of that's what has to travel. Like, you don't go into opposing gyms anywhere in the country usually and have your best shooting night of the year.
I think
Wichita State is going to get to the line, or they're going to want to get to the line where the points come easier, and they're going to want to defend and rebound. This will be such a great test for them. I'm so excited for this game. We were just talking about KU and what will we learn? And for me, it's probably not a ton right yet. For Wichita State, I do think we can learn quite a bit tonight about the makeup of this team, which is older players, which obviously they're experienced, and we feel good about their offense and we feel good about all this stuff. Now let's learn if they can go into that kind of environment and just be nasty, right? Get after it that way defensively.
Yeah, I think that Josh Briscoe would have something to say about your expert takes there. If they play defense, don't turn the ball over, rebound, and make the free throws, they'll win games. That's like when we said if the Chiefs don't make stupid penalties and don't turn the ball over, they'll win more football games.
But those are the things.
It is.
Those are the things that bring talent gaps together, right?
Yeah.
And I bring it up for Wichita State specifically because it's what they were so good at in their crazy run. I used to watch so many Shocker games where you want to pull your hair out with the kind of offense they played. And I'm talking about the really good years. You're just like, why are they having such a hard time scoring? However, they won the vast majority of those games. Why? Because they always were good defensively. They always rebounded well. And most of the time, they hit most of their free throws. You're raising your floor, all those things. And that's what I mean. We know this team has a high ceiling, right? We've already seen that this year. We understand and have a good grasp that the ceiling of this team feels a little higher than the last couple of years. I think that's a fair statement. It feels like a higher ceiling. Where's the floor? And that's what we don't know yet. And now with the true road game, it's our first chance to see that. Where's the floor with this team? Can they do those things that raise the floor?
Yeah, that's the question. I think that the thing that we like so much about this team is that I've been trying to pinpoint, because obviously whenever they shoot the ball so well, it's obviously great and everything like that. But that we've seen the early season successes that haven't translated into other things. I think that, for me at least, I guess I won't put words in your mouth, is that they have the pieces where they can score like they have in Kenyon Giles and Mike Gray, and Dre Kendall even can get downhill really well. And Will Berg is there to space the floor with them and everything. The spacing works really well for Will Berg, I'll say it that way. And that's what we like about the offense. But I think that the difference between Wichita State and K-State, because we've said there's two teams that are going to be really good on offense, is that Wichita State has guys like Karan Boyd and TJ Williams.
Absolutely.
That are the athletic guys that'll go defend and can go do that kind of thing. And that's what makes it, work. Well, K-State has 9 guys that could all probably score you 20 points. But I don't know. Like, that might be their defensive problems. Like, they haven't really had a guy that can go lock down on defense since, I don't know who you want to throw out there in the Jerome Tang era. They've got a lot of scores.
KState?
I mean, you can say Keontae, but Keontae was an All-American.
Yeah. It's been a minute, but you're right. You're 100% right. Like, Wichita State was very intentional in bringing in and having defensive forces on this team. Will Berg is here, not for his offense.
Yeah.
Right? That's not why he's here. And that's what we do. Like, the offense that we've seen from him is a very pleasant surprise, but he's here to block shots and be a presence down low. At least that was my take on it. We hadn't even seen him play offense, really. And he didn't have a chance to play much. That we know why Boyd's here. I mean, that was as clear as day, right? Why he was recruited. Mm-hmm. Those are the kinds of things I think that helps raise a floor for a team like Wichita State. The reality is, like, if they go to Boise and they give us a great energy and defensive performance, I'm going to feel really good about their chances in the American this year.
Yeah.
Boise's
100%.
probably as good on paper early in the season from expectations, those kinds of things. They're as high as any team is this year in the American. Yep. And you're about to go on the road. This feels to me like a road game against a top American team when you go do it. And so it is a really nice way to get a grasp of this on Wichita State. Look, I think they can win this game. I certainly think they can cover 9.5 points. I really don't want us to be overhyping this start to their season. And so I will watch with bated breath to see if they can back it up.
I'll put this out there because they've got, I'm sure that there's a design of how they want to attack Boise because it's such a niche roster of the way that they do things that, Paul Mills is telling us about, that they do a lot of stuff with their 7-footers and they have to give up other things because of that. They've got a game plan that they want to attack through that. I'll say that if they lose tonight and if they struggle, it'll be because they shoot less than 20% from 3. But I don't think that they will. But that's why they would lose the game.
That's going to be a pretty low number for this team. I just don't know what kind of volume they're going to take. But
I think against Boise,
if Boise scouts with a bunch of bigs, then you want to take a bunch of threes.
I think they'll shoot north of 25 threes. Like,
God, that's a big number. That's so jarring for Wichita State basketball.
I know, but that's what they've done. Like, they shot 36 against Drake, I think is what I said the number was.
Yeah, and then they didn't shoot a ton against
Asheville, because they didn't shoot it well, but they didn't need to. But like against Boyd, like at some point you got to be like, listen, guys, like keep putting them up. We got to shoot these things. Paul
You're gonna
Mills
hear
said,
it right here, right over on KEYN tonight, 7:30. It's going to be a hard game to watch, by the way, on the Mountain West Network. I don't even know where that exists or if I have it.
I think that Mountain West Network is also compatible with Amazon Prime Video. I think.
Oh, okay. Well, either way, you can listen to it on KYN. Mike Kennedy, who is retiring at the end of the year, will have a call for you right here with us on the Odyssey family. We're coming back. We got more Sports Daily. Don't go away.